We throw around the word smart all the time. But have you ever stopped to think about what it really means? We tend to think it's all about getting good grades or having a huge vocabulary. But what if being smart has less to do with the facts you know and way more to do with how you think?
So, let's just ask it straight up. What does being smart actually mean to you? Is it about a high IQ? Getting a degree from a fancy school? Whatever your answer is, just hang on to that thought for a minute, because we're about to turn some of those old ideas on their head.
All right, let's break this down. On the left, you've got the old school way of measuring intelligence. The stuff we all remember from school, right? Test scores, memorizing facts. But on the right, that's the real world. That's what actually helps you succeed. It's a massive shift from just knowing stuff to being able to adapt, to feel empathy, and to connect ideas in new ways.
And here's the best part, the most important thing to remember. Intelligence isn't some fixed score you're born with. Not at all. It's so much more like a muscle. And today we're going to walk you through the entire workout plan.
First up, habit number 1, question everything. Truly smart people have this deep, natural curiosity. They don't just take things as they are. They're the ones always asking, but why? They need to get to the bottom of things, and that's the very foundation of critical thinking.
Okay, this next one might catch you by surprise. Habit number 2 is actually being comfortable just being by yourself. And look, this isn't about being antisocial or a hermit. It's about seeing solitude for what it is, an incredible opportunity for deep thinking, for reflection, and for making plans.
I mean, that really says it all, doesn't it? It's not just about being alone. It's about what you do with that time. It's about turning that quiet into a space where you can actually hear yourself think and get some real self-improvement done away from all the chaos of the outside world.
All right, so we've got the mindset down. Now for the really fun part, the practical stuff. Let's get into the actual techniques you can use to turn knowledge into real usable skills. Think of this as your guide to the mental gym.
First tool in our toolbox, the mind map. This is so powerful because it's literally designed to work with your brain, not against it. See, our brains don't think in neat little lines. They think in connections, with ideas branching out everywhere. A mind map just puts that natural process on paper.
Just take a look at this. Instead of a boring vocabulary list for winter, you've got this web of related ideas, activities, clothes, the weather. You can see how everything connects instantly, and that makes it so much easier to remember.
And it's not just for simple stuff either. You can take a really complex topic like grammar rules and break it down into something that makes sense visually. What was once a huge, intimidating wall of text is now something you can understand in a single glance. Let's move on to one of my absolute favorite methods, the Feynman technique. The whole idea behind it is just beautiful and simple. If you can't explain something simply, you don't really understand it.
So how does it work? It's basically 4 steps. 1. You pick a topic and study it. Easy enough. 2. You pretend you're explaining it to a little kid, using super simple words. Now step 3 is where the magic happens. You figure out exactly where you get stuck or confused. Those are your knowledge gaps. Then you just go back to the material, fill in those gaps, and repeat until your explanation is crystal clear. It's the ultimate test of true understanding.
And while we're on the topic of learning, these 4 principles are total game changers. This is about active learning, doing problems instead of just reading. It's about spacing out your study sessions instead of cramming. You have to really wrestle with the information, put it in your own words, and constantly check to make sure you're getting it right.
So, we've gone through a solid mental workout. But just like any athlete knows, the workout is only half the battle. You absolutely need the right fuel. Your brain is a physical part of your body, and what you eat directly impacts how well it performs.
So think of this as your brain's official grocery list. You've got your omega-3s, your antioxidants, yes, that includes dark chocolate, and a steady supply of energy from good proteins and carbs. And seriously, do not underestimate that last one. Just being a little bit dehydrated can wreck your focus, so drink your water.
Now that list is fantastic and it's super important, but that's only part of the equation. What if I told you that the single most powerful performance enhancer for your brain isn't something you can eat at all?
This is what we call psychological fuel. And what is it? It's the ability to be comfortable with being wrong. So many of us are terrified of making mistakes, but the smartest people out there, they see mistakes differently. A mistake isn't a failure, it's just data. It's a chance to learn something new. Adopting that mindset is like pouring rocket fuel on your brain.
Okay, let's bring all this home with our final section. We've talked a lot about being smart,
about processing information. But there's another level to all this. There's a final step in our journey, and that's moving beyond being smart to becoming wise.
And this difference is so crucial. See, being smart is about knowing a lot of stuff. But wisdom, that's about knowing how and when to use it. A smart person knows the right answer. A wise person knows the right question to ask. And that last one, wow. A smart person knows what to say, but a wise person knows when to stay silent. That's a big one.
It all really comes down to that timeless saying, live for a century, learn for a century. This whole journey isn't something you finish. It's a lifelong process. Keeping your mind curious and open is the absolute best thing you can do for yourself, no matter how old you are.
So, there you have it. We've gone over the mindset, the tools, the fuel, the whole shebang. Now the ball is officially in your court. The only question left is the one right here on the screen. It's all up to you now. Which one of these habits are you going to start training today?